Many are ashamed to voice their feelings and end up internalizing them. This may be in an attempt to appear to have it all together and to avoid the potential shame associated with mental health concerns. Hello everyone and welcome back. If you're new here, my name is Amrita and with this channel I aim to bring you everything from minimalism, sustainability, self-care and self-development. Anxiousness and depression can creep up on you, and before you know it, doing the small things like brushing your teeth, having a shower, or mingling with people all seem like mammoth tasks. So let's have a look at a few ways we can overcome the incessant chatter within our minds. After all, it's either our thoughts about the future or the past that makes us feel the way we do, causing us to spiral and feeling like we're out of control. We have to devise small ways to reset on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. This prevents us from stacking negative emotional states and allows our stress and anxiety levels to be kept at bay. Resetting allows us to deal with our emotions on the smallest level rather than sweeping them under the carpet. Ignoring your emotions will result in them being stacked one on top of the other to the point that you cannot do it anymore, many times leading to meltdowns, panic attacks, and even necessitating medication. So how you reset is up to you, whether this is speaking to a friend on a weekly basis, journaling, a sweaty workout session to release serotonin, which is known as a natural mood stabilizer, or just going for a walk to clear your mind. Try a few things and figure out what best suits your lifestyle and gets you feeling better. I'm sure you've heard how the 5 people you spend the most time with mold how you start thinking and behaving. As you're going through these uncomfortable emotions of anxiousness, stress, and possible depression, you may gravitate towards people feeling that way too. This will not serve you, as neither one of you may have the mental space to help the other one out, and may cause even more of a spiral. On the other end of the spectrum, toxic positivity can also be harmful when it is insincere, forceful, or delegitimizes real feelings of anxiety, fear, sadness, or hardship. So if you confide in someone who is positive no matter what, it could do more harm than good. It should, however, be noted that there is nothing inherently wrong with being positive, and it can be a force for good. But if you feel there is no one in your circle able to hear you out and help you through whatever it is you're going through, you may need to consult a professional. In consulting with a professional, take caution with this as well, since the point is not to talk about things to death and for decades, but rather to devise ways to move through it and live a fuller life. So be cognizant of whether your professional help is serving you best and make the switch to someone else if and when necessary. While there's a time and place for emotion, being stuck in those emotions serves no one. The aim is to move through it and then forward, and not to be stuck. No one teaches us about our thoughts and how to control them in ways that serve us. So by the time we're so-called adults, we have no idea how to deal with our emotions, and we're actually just children in adults' bodies. Every time I see a grown person throw a tantrum, get angry for something seemingly small, general irritation, or just socially closed off, I always wonder what part of their childhood they're projecting. Our minds are always on autopilot, and we need to be conscious of our thoughts and trying to change those negative thought patterns into more useful ones, and basically coaching ourselves through the daily situations of life. Every time your mind veers into a negative thought pattern by default, help it out and plant a new thought that serves you. Practicing this will make you realize how being conscious of your thoughts can completely redirect your life. Speaking about your emotions and feelings were previously considered to be weak, and I guess that's where the stigma lies, especially within the male community, where they are expected to act and present themselves in a certain way. I've had numerous family members and friends all go through some form of mental health issue at some stage. Mental health is something that is being spoken about more openly now, but still there is some stigma around it. Just know that there are many in the same boat as you, and by speaking about how you feel, you may not only be helping yourself, but could be allowing someone else to finally feel safe in opening up too. These feelings should not make you feel less than, unworthy, or weak in any way. I always say we have emotions because we're humans and they're meant to be felt. So feel them, work through them, and live your best life. How you sit, stand, or carry yourself is just as important as what you focus on. Good breathing habits and posture could be just the answer you need. Most of us do not sit in a manner that allows our lungs to absorb the maximum amount of oxygen possible, resulting in us feeling lethargic and affecting levels of anxiety. Posture also has the potential to significantly impact mental health. Deep or rhythmic breathing is a good way to decrease your symptoms of anxiety. Breathing can also help focus your thoughts away from what is causing the anxiousness. Going within can be scary, and despite knowing that meditation and journaling is a great way to work through your emotions, I never did it. I was just too scared to face my demons head on. I was always trying to escape the discomfort of having to be by myself and go within, but that short-term discomfort can lead to long-term benefits. We all grow and evolve, and now not doing my daily mindfulness practices feels like blasphemy. I do not recognize myself from 5 years ago, let alone 10 or 15 years ago. So I urge you, go within. There are gems you will discover about yourself that you never acknowledged or even knew existed. I recently had a conversation with an elderly man who mentioned to me that at a certain time of the day his heart starts pounding. Although he could not articulate this to be anxiety, I recognized this pattern. He was in the workforce for 4 decades in a job he wasn't particularly passionate about, and it brought about extreme levels of stress. He routinely woke up at around 4 or 5 a.m. all those years to prepare for work, which was when his anxiety levels would spike. He still wakes up feeling anxious despite being retired for a number of years because his mind had trained his body to turn on the fight or flight response at that time. He had no idea why he was feeling this way, and all he needed to do was sync his body and mind by asking himself, why do I feel the way I do? And in not being able to come up with an answer each time, he would be reassuring his body that there's nothing to run away from and that it is safe exactly where he is. Going within, although scary, can bring about liberating effects. I've always wanted to help those I see suffering, but the one thing I've realized through this is that it's extremely difficult to do that for those who use their story as a crutch, and they feel that they'll be losing part of their identity by shedding the story they've been replaying in their mind. Many people have difficulty letting go and holding on to their painful stories, almost in an effort to prove how bad things are or were. And let's face it, we can get attention in many ways, and feeling down and having a problem is one way to do so. This will, however, not serve your highest potential, and your fear will prevent you from living fully. Get out of your comfort zone and you'll be surprised at how much you'll be able to shine and serve the world. Stop latching onto the story you've told yourself over the years and telling people how they don't get it and that they haven't been through what you have. Remember, whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, either way you're right. It's all up to you. So stop wallowing and manifest the reality of your dreams. Until next time, be the change you want to see.